Hi, I'm Gregory Kokkonidis, and I'm running to be the next Vice President of Education in the SRC.
So what is your single biggest goal if elected?
I feel like my single biggest goal at the moment would be to improve the university practices around sustainability and provide more learning opportunities and support the students who are trying to improve the university practices around this very important issue at the time. Because although the university was deemed as one of the first universities to be to raise important questions on this issue, I don't think that they have followed up to the point that they should. So I think that both me as Vice President of Education and the SRC should push them to do better.
What is something unique about you that other candidates don't have, and why do you think you're best for this role?
I feel like the one thing I would say is the most unique about me that other candidates don't have is the experience I have within academia, because I've been a university student for 7 years. This is my second degree. I've studied in 3 different universities, so I've experienced a number of different educational and academic practices. So I can use those experiences to bring tangible experiences and tangible comparisons in the changes that I want to make, which is a huge part of why I think I am the best candidate for the job. And the other reason why I think so is because I believe that in order to be successful in this role, there needs to be a recognition that yes, the Vice President of Education is the Chief Representative Officer in the academic issues for students, but in order to make successful change within the university and from within the SRC, there needs to be collaboration between students, officers and staff that have more experience and better expertise in issues that you want to represent and that students want raised, because I don't believe that any single person can have all the expertise they need to be successful in any role.
So your manifesto promises to make lectures recorded, but the reason that many are not recorded at present is for workers' rights reasons and the ability for staffs to strike. How do you think you'll be able to implement this proposal knowing this?
So I feel like one of the main things is that more lectures should be recorded for the support of students, and I understand that these reasons, among other reasons, such as the fact that not all university rooms have the ability to record lectures, are a very important obstacle and barrier to providing this accessibility to students. I would just work with staff and senior members of staff in order to figure out the best solutions from within university committees and by liaising between students and senior members of staff to figure out how to best tackle these issues.
So you know a lot of the high stakes assessments in your manifesto, and as well as the unengaging style of lectures, but how will, from your role, be able to actually change this, especially dealing with how much staff have say over their own courses?
So could you repeat the last part?
So how will you be able, from your role, to actually change that, especially knowing staff have so much control over their courses?
So I feel like that's where my point on the student-staff partnership comes into play. I think that it's really important for staff to recognize that, yes, they know what is potentially best for students when they enter the workplace, but students also know what is best, what they need and what they want from their courses right now. So by establishing such a partnership where students are working with staff through either class reps or through one-to-one meetings or focus groups, they would hopefully understand that in order to provide the best student experience, there needs to be such a collaboration in changing assessment to provide for courses that need it, obviously, because I understand that not all courses will benefit from lower stake assessments that would provide such an initiative.
So you talk about curricula being unrepresentative of students. What do you mean by that?
What I meant by this point is the fact that at this point there are huge initiatives in the university, such as the decolonization of the curriculum and representing LGBTQ plus students within curricula, that I don't think are being seen as important as they should be. I feel like we need to make representation of these students and other students, including ethnicity minorities, sexuality minorities, sexual adjustment minorities, within the curriculum in order to create better representation and show students that there are role models out there, because I believe that the lack of representation sometimes and many times equals misrepresentation, which encourages potentially implicit discrimination and attainment gaps.
So the current strikes have meant that there's been a lot of lost content, which will, do you think that this will harm students as they progress? If so, how do you plan on solving that?
I absolutely think that it's harmful to students, especially students whose courses are short, such as postgraduate courses that last over a year. In particular, this year that we've had 2 sets of strikes, there has been a huge loss of content, and especially for international students as well, a huge loss of money that they've paid at the university to cover the degree costs. And I feel that the university needs to take provisions in order to make sure that this gap is covered, because obviously staff do have the right to strike, but that shouldn't unnecessarily affect the experience of students, and we need to figure out a way to close this provision gap between the staff's right to strike and the students' right for the education that they signed up for.
Mm-hmm.